want to get into your Fighting Irish?
I would love to get into my Fighting Irish, who just went into Virginia, the toughest game left on their schedule, a winning team, and held them to 3 points. The defense, which had been shaky against every team over the last 2 weeks, has allowed a total of 9 points. Notre Dame won 28-3. It was a very efficiently played ball game. You kind of had hoped they put a little more points up on the board offensively. But the thing about this defensively for Notre Dame is Virginia came in with the number 2 ranked passing attack in the country in college football at an average of 380 yards per game. They're not a very good running team, but they sling the shit out of the ball. With an average that high, you sometimes don't really know, like, is it the stat within the stat? Is a lot of that in some of that in garbage time and stuff like that when you're racking up more numbers. But still, to hold them to 3 points on the road in their home stadium is, I think, a pretty decent accomplishment for a team that is now 8-1 and the only team within our LDP who's the only team who has one loss to an undefeated team. Every other team has a loss to a team that's lost.
That's a good stat. You might need to bring that up in a minute here.
I am going to bring that up in a minute. They've got Georgia Tech at home this week, and then they have Stanford following, both like well under 500. I think
Stanford did beat Oregon earlier this year, so that's the one thing.
That's their claim to fame right now.
Are you going to Stanford?
Yes.
Okay.
But Georgia Tech's coming to South Bend. 1:30 Central start should be a laugha. So I've got Notre Dame at 10-1 going into this thing, and they are going to have a strong argument when you look deeper into them getting into the top 4. An argument that I've been presenting, but I looked up a particular statistic. It lends even more credence and merit to it now after I've found this statistic that I don't know why I've been remiss in looking up prior to this. So something I've been yammering on about is how weak the Big Ten is and strength of schedule and all that good stuff. And it turns out, you can look up the RPI rankings for all of college football. And here's some numbers that will kind of put things in perspective. Of the top 10 strength of schedule ranking is as follows. I'll cover Notre Dame has the 3rd toughest schedule behind Georgia and Alabama. Ohio State is behind Notre Dame at 4. Cincinnati is 5, which could be the reason they're not getting as much respect in the actual playoff polls. Michigan is 6. Oklahoma State is 7. Oregon's 8. Mississippi is 9. And Michigan State is 10 in strength of schedule in the RPI. Oh, that's just the RPI rankings.
Yeah, that's different than strength of schedule.
Strength of schedule, Michigan State is 116th.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Notre Dame is 37.
Okay.
Alabama is 90, and Georgia is 42. So these type of statistics, if anyone's even looking at these, will be their road into, as we were talking about, that's their road into the playoffs.
Well, this is perfectly timed because we might as well get right into our debate about our Limp Six, our LDP top 6, as we remedy the errors that the College Football Playoff Committee makes every single fucking week and come out with our own top 6 rankings. As of last week, the only team that lost is Oklahoma, so we can knock them out of our top 6.
Out.
So that basically just shuffles everybody up. I think we can obviously say that Georgia is number 1, Cincy's number 2 as the 2 undefeated teams.
Yep.
Of note. Number 3 would be Oregon. Number 4 would be Ohio State. Number 5. Oh, I'm getting this confused, aren't I? Who am I missing?
You haven't said Alabama yet.
Oh, Alabama's number 3. That's what I missed.
Yeah,
That's great. I love that I
I'm
missed
just like
Alabama.
I'm like, is he sure? Oh yeah, Oregon for
Yeah, Alabama would be number 3. I love that I just forgot about Alabama. That's perfect. Oregon number 4, Ohio State number 5. So that leaves number 6 up to debate for you and I. And you've already laid out your argument for Notre Dame quite eloquently. Nice job by you. The only thing I can say is basically, what is your best win on this season? I mean, who's the best team you've beaten? And I kind of don't
well,
know
I
how
don't
to
know.
answer that.
We beat Purdue and you couldn't by 2 touchdowns.
But just play my game at least. Like
I just wanted to get that in there.
I mean that is the blemish. That's where you're going to win, and strength of the schedule and all that. But who have you beaten? I guess is the only thing I can
Well,
say.
we beat Wisconsin when they were the 19th ranked team in the country.
Yeah, and they've gone to shit. But
They're
actually, they've been better lately. But they were terrible in the first opening part of the season.
they have the 7th ranked strength of schedule in the country, so maybe
Okay.
that's part
So
of their
Wisconsin,
issues.
I think Wisconsin is your best win. Of course, Michigan State's is Michigan, and you can poke holes in Michigan, and you can poke holes in that game as they had to come back from 16 points down, gloriously coming back from 16 points down with 5 minutes left in the third quarter. I'm just pointing that out just for the argument, because I think I am gonna agree with you that at least in our poll this week, Notre Dame should be number 6, ahead of Michigan State, so that makes, I mean, we don't even do 7 or 8, but I'll just say State would be 7, and I would put Michigan at number 8 as the committee refuses to figure out that those should be reversed. So I guess, are you going to make an argument that Notre Dame should be higher than Ohio State or Oregon or Alabama?
Not yet. It's coming.
Okay. So that's why I think
Baby
we can.
steps.
That's why I thought we could agree on this. I just wanted to put the talking points out there at least.
Yeah, I mean, I would definitely say, to your point, like their best victory, like just from a like tough quote unquote opponent was Wisconsin at a neutral site. So
oh yeah, that was at Soldier Field, wasn't it?
Yeah. So,
well, the whole thing, this is an argument for week 11 or whatever we're in right now, because Michigan State, if they beat Ohio State this weekend, they're going to move ahead of a lot of teams, including Notre Dame. If they lose, they're out of this discussion. So it's all fun for podcast nerds like us. So
do real quick on that. So let's just roll whatever scenario. Let's just say Ohio State beats both Michigan State and Michigan. Who plays for the Big Ten championship?
It'd be Ohio State and Wisconsin.
Oh, it would. All right.
I think Wisconsin
or
Iowa. I'm not sure. I don't pay attention to the Big Ten West hardly at all, but yeah, that would be and then Ohio State would have most likely beat the fuck out of whoever was in the Big Ten championship game. They'd have another win. So they'd move. I could see them moving to the top 2 pretty easily if they run the table from here on out, even with that loss against Oregon. Speaking of Oregon, they're playing Utah. I think they're at Utah.
Yeah,
24 this week.
Yep, exactly.
So I think they're going to eliminate themselves this weekend, and I think there's a chance that Cincy actually eliminates themselves, because they have not looked very good. They struggled against Tulsa last week or a couple weeks ago. They're not looking like a juggernaut, and we're probably very much overrating them, making them number 2, but we can do whatever the fuck we want.
Yeah, I mean, we're giving them kudos. I mean, winning 10 games in a row is a feat.
Yes. Yeah.
Especially for a school that never won on the road against a ranked team.
Yeah.
That alone they deserve. Even though we can admit that Notre Dame has been consistently inconsistent this year.
Yeah.
They still went in there and won. And the offense had been putting up a lot of points to hide the problems with the defense at the beginning of the year, but not that day. So,
well, I mean, I think Cincy, like I said, I think they might be primed to eliminate themselves from this discussion as soon as maybe this weekend, as they play SMU, who's really the only like tough opponent left on their schedule. But I think it's possible that they lose there, and then we don't talk about Cincy anymore, and then we're having a completely different discussion as of next week. So that's all I've got for the top 25, unless you had anything else on that.
No, I was another, the playoff committee show should be roughly 15 minutes, guys. Look what Smitty and I can accomplish. And
just listen to us.
We bring out facts. We bring out real statistics.
We talk about the games that were actually played on the field, not the way we feel, as opposed to the commissioner of this fucking playoff committee or whatever, his chairman said, well, irrespective of the games on the field or what you're watching, we felt like Michigan is better than Michigan State. He said it for 2 weeks now. And
yeah. Oh, okay.
Don't even. He's telling us not to watch the games, essentially.
Yeah.
So
he's saying the games don't matter.
Yeah, we're not saying that. We're saying the games matter. Watch the games. So
hey, you know what this is, Smitty? This is the paper argument on paper.
Ah, yeah.
But it's actually playing out. It's resulting in real life.
Yeah,
but the real life doesn't mimic the paper.
Well, real life is clickbait, according to this playoff committee, which again, it doesn't mean anything until the final rankings. So they can have their fun and create controversy, because all this is meaningless until that final ranking.
Exactly. So. But let's have fun with it while we can.